Okay, Anam sent in to me her book cover in progress, and I thought it would be a great opportunity to kind of do a demo and just kind of show some options that one might make when playing with it. So here's her piece. It's looking pretty good. Um, Now, one thing I told her in our discussion was she needed to block in, the thing I do said where you color everything in with a colored pencil, so you can make a crisp selection. So I suggest that you make a selection that is just with the areas blocked in, um, and you can use these. This is not going to be visible in the finished piece, but I just use it to select areas so I can manipulate them. Now, one thing, a flaw in this is that I see black layers coming through, so I'm like, what does that mean? Does that mean that there are? Does that mean that there are black lines in this layer, or are they gaps? So I don't know. So what I'm going to do is to add a new layer under it, and I'm going to fill it in with white. So I can see that she did not go edge to edge. It's best if you can go when you're creating your template layer, I'll call it, to go edge to edge. And it's really tough. Let me turn off this white layer now. Let me turn off everything but the line drawing. Yeah, so it is, and let me get this little doohickey out of the way. It's really hard to go, make them both. Sorry about that. It's hard to make them go like right to the exact spot. So what I like to do is, first of all, I put this layer on multiply to color it in so I can see where the black line is. And you see how, like, I don't know, it's hard to come up to here, then come up to here. It's better to go over and over. So let me say I was coloring in this yellow. I'll get yellow, I'll make it nice and big. Just do that. And then come in with my blue. And you want the edge of the selection to kind of really straddle that black line. No, it went over a little bit, that's okay. But it's a more efficient way to color them in, because you kind of, if you come up to here, then try to go just up to here, it's really hard to get a match. But if you just go over it, then you only have to be precise in one direction. Let me touch that so I can go over there. So now there's no space between the selections. And some of the guests we had work in clipping paths, and I generally don't use clipping paths, but this serves the same purpose. Now I can select, once you get the hand, a clean selection. See, it's not a clean selection here yet. Oh, also one thing she did, on a separate note, she colored on different layers, but she accidentally colored in blue nail polish in that finger. So I'll just get rid of that. So let's go back up to this layer. And yeah, see, you want to really precise. And this is what happened there. I'm still on the line layer. A lot of whoopsies. This is the time-consuming, tedious aspect of this. See that line's going over there. And actually, when I illustrate, oops, I should have. That's the reason to do that. Make that smaller. Yeah, this is the tedious. It's like, when if you do house painting at all, you kind of have to take the time to scrape the paint, get the time to put up the masking tape. So this is the time-consuming part, and this makes things go quicker if you get this template layer really precise. So right here, this X, the blue is going over the X. You gotta So you got to be real precise on this level, but once you do, it just makes everything else easier. And I will open up, let me open up file, open. Because when I'm getting a graphic novel done, I actually work with an assistant in the Philippines. And I will finish, I'm just open up one of these at random. So, oh wait, that's not a good one to use. File, I'm gonna get one that has all the full layers. I think this should. Just pick a one at random. Same, it's not the same one. It's a different version of the same, an earlier version. But what I do is I finish them like this, and I think I showed you this stage before, but what I didn't show you is I send this off to the Philippines, and then some Filipino person, they're called color flatterers. They add the flat areas of color. So I'm gonna put my drawing later on, and I'm gonna switch it to multiply just so you can see. Let's stop that. So what this assistant does, they color things in just random colors. Now these aren't the colors I'm going to use. Oops, what am I doing? I'm trying to zoom out. Dissolve, I want dissolve. These aren't the colors I'm going to use. They're just random colors, but it separates the area. And they charge $10 a page. If it's busy, I'll pay them more. It might take them a couple hours. I have spoken to other Filipino people, and it's a good wage for the couple hours it takes them to do it. I think it might be like 2 or 3 hours. So once they create this layer in color, I select it. So I'll like select, like, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong area. I'll select like this big dinosaur skin color and look for everywhere in the picture that has the skin color. And then I go in and I drop it. And I drop it in that light purple in this case. And I do that with all the colors. And after that, I make a mask layer, and everything you see that's like erasing, like the shine, I do that in my mask layer. Let me just Command A, and maybe I'll just delete out all the mask. So all the erased textures go away when I do that. I deleted it, I'll get it back. And as mentioned before, I put another layer in, and I have it in soft light. And what it does is it makes the shadows, like I have shading on this layer, right? So this makes my shading tinted. So the uniform is kind of parchment colored paper. So this is a good shadow color for the parchment paper. A lot of things have purplish shadow, like this is a brown belt, and his skin can be kind of purplish. In most cases, I either use a very muted color. So it's either a muted purple, a muted brownish for the uniform, and for grass, I don't like the way grass looks with a purple shadow. So I have like a little bit of a bluish green shadow. But the thing that makes it easy is I have this layer with easy selections. So I can just select an area, whether it's the uniform or whatever, or maybe this guy's, his uniform, and then I can do things in color. Let me I'll go back to my mask layer and let's say I wanted to, I'll just make a little more exaggerated shading. So if I was going for chiaroscuro, I'd do more like that. And again, when you're in a mask, what you're doing, you're shading by adding, it's like you're adding black negatively. So you're really just taking away. No, I don't have this much shading on the character because I really don't want, I'm not going for this much dramatic lighting, but that's how I would do it. Another way I always wondered for years, like, why don't you just like erase? You could just erase on the color layer too. Why not do that? The reason is you have more options if you preserve your color layer. So you don't, you have it preserved so you can do things more with it later. Other ways you could preserve it, you can just duplicate it and save it and shut it off. But masks give you a lot of options. So, and if you want to see what the mask layer looks like right now, it looks like that. And if I delete that part there, I thought I deleted all these things. So yeah, there's all the mask deleted. So there's a mask there, but it's blank. And you can tell that the mask square is highlighted. And let's go back to here. Switch the shading back on. Something looks off. What is off here? Oh, I know it's off. I put a barrier layer between the drawing and the whatever I call this template layer. So that's how I do that. Now let's just make that go away. Go away. Don't save. So now back to Anam's. Yeah. So first of all, Anam, you'd want like you want these selections to be perfecto mundo. You don't want these. I'll switch on this so you can see there's like a gap. You really want the edges to go right up against each other. You only, and again, you can't do it like this and then come in at this and make the exact, just go over and come in. And that's the best way to make a clean division. I hope that makes sense. Okay, but we're going to move on. The imperfect. Another thing I wanted to show is, I believe, let's go back to our drawing layer. I believe that she did this couple separately and larger, and then they're merged here. But I'm going to pretend that they were all done in the same layer. And I'm going to duplicate them, and just drag that into the. No, I'm just going to go layer, duplicate layer. Now I'm going to erase everything except for the two figures. Look at what's my brush at? 22%. I want to get a hard edge. That's good. And I'm going to erase everything but the two figures. And it's a little bit time consuming. I think I will, in post-production, speed up this part. Oops. Okay, now I have these two figures isolated a little bit beyond them, and I'm going to subtract. I'm going to try to make the selection really tight to their line. Now, if the line is thick, it could work. Let's see if it works. So I'm going to hit select minus. My thumb is on option. Okay, looks good. If there's a gap in the black line, I'll have to adjust strategy, but yeah, this seems to be working okay. What's my tolerance? I'm gonna make tolerance 15. Okay, that's good. It is curious. Yeah, usually when you do this, the selection goes a little quicker, but there must be some surface schmutz. Another time-consuming aspect. I'm selecting the white that's outside of the black line. And I could have just, come on. She did have this area here. So in theory, I could have just selected the yellow right there. But I think, actually, I should have done that. That would make it a lot easier. I was worried about the black, but I would have had to have added the black line. So the trouble is, in these selections, as per my directions, the instructions, we want the two areas to straddle the black line. But if I did this, I would lose half of the black line. So just gonna do that. Okay, I think that's pretty good. There might be a little residual issues, but we'll deal with that if it happens. So what I've done now is I have the line work selected of the two figures. Get rid of some. Actually, I should say I have everything outside of the line work in these two figures. Now I just hit delete. Oops, that's not what I want to do. Select, inverse, hit delete. And on this layer, so they're still there on this layer, but on this layer, they're gone. So let me switch it off, deselect, and let me let's get rid of these scraps here. So now, oops, she's got it on her nose. I'll just erase it. I can separate the black line, turn these back on again. And if I wanted to add, I'm trying to move line copy. So I'll name this, let's just say figure. Actually, let me keep it down where it was. I can put something in between these two. So if I wanted to, I can add a layer. I'll stick it in between. And if I throw a color, see what I'm thinking about doing is, let's turn off these babies for a second. I'm thinking about lightening up these lines back here. So, I mean, one easy way would be to do that, but we don't want to lose the color. How about if we put like we could also, what would happen if we just threw pink in there? What if we do screen, bring it way down, or lighten? Does that really do anything? Or soft light, what does that do? Not much. So you just kind of play with these, color burn. What we want to do, I want to affect, I want to affect the black. I don't want to affect the, I don't want to affect, I don't want to affect the white. I want to affect the black. So we do screen like that. And even if I don't like that color, I could also just go Command U and change the color of it. So that's one way to do it. Let's just turn this layer off. Another thing is just to add an adjustment layer, which I guess we just kind of did, and you kind of do the same thing. And you, so when you have an adjustment layer, it affects everything, you know, below where the layer is situated. But it's not adding any color to it, is it? I don't really use these that much, that's why. What if we threw a tint in there? Or maybe you can't. Anyway, so I guess since it's black and white, it's not really doing much, but my preference is to just throw in a layer like this. And let's see how her rest, I think the rest of her color, she was worried about them being too dark. Yellow clock test. Yeah, so obviously things are too dark at this point. So what can we do? I think this is kind of more how she, yeah, that's just the testing layer, I think. But what if we put that on like lighten? Oh, that's kind of wild. That affects the lines too. Well, I'm not sure, but I'm not sure. Let's just turn this layer off. And what if we just select the sun and let's go to the shading layer. No, there's no shading in that layer there, is there? Where's the shading? Flat colors. You know, I think maybe, yeah, I'm not crazy about, see the sun is selected and this purple watercolor does not go great with the yellow. So what I would do is I'm going to go back to this layer. I'm going to select everything that's similar, select similar. So I go to the letters. We got the bottom ground too. Maybe I'll unselect that. So I just want the letters and the sun. And also I'm going to deselect. I think this is a little mistake, this patch there. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to go to the purple watercolor. And I'm going to go Command U, and because purple just kills yellow, so I'm going to just do like that. Maybe a little orange. Okay, that's cool, but it's too dark. I'm got the lighter. Less intense. Okay, that looks kind of good. So it makes the gold pop a little bit, which is nice. Now I want to get that sky. So let me select the sky. That's nice. So now let me go to what layers are. Okay, the sky's mostly on this layer. So let me select that and Command U and kind of dirty. Yeah, maybe that's. Okay, like that. And I think it might be fun to have like a yellow glow coming up from the horizon. So I'm gonna add a new layer, and I'm gonna get go for yellow like that, and I'm gonna add a gradient kind of going up from the bottom. Okay, it looks nice glow. You could, if I make that multiply, 1 second too. I don't think I want to multiply. I think I want it normal, and then maybe I can even. How about if I lighten it too? What would that do? Well, that's kind of nice. Then we still get to see the texture coming through, and I can even go Command U and make some more adjustments. Don't want the color to be richer. Okay, that's good like that. Now I think I want these where is this? Let's find out where that blotch is. Oh, it's on this layer. So let's go to the flat colors layer, and let me go clone tool. Just get rid of that. Now let's see about these about that hand. Where's that hand color? Is that in the flat colors? I don't mind the hand being blue, but I think it might be too dark. So let me just select it. And I can even go, let's go up to the selection area. Yeah, the hand is selected. I'm gonna go down to here and let me make it a little bit lighter. What if it's even a little green? What would that look like? I don't know. It's kind of odd. And she still has to add screen to it. That's cool. Let me go select D. Let me go down to I do think we want a little color on the tents. So this, actually I should name this layer I just made, because I'll say yellow horizon glow. Okay, now I'm going to go back up here, and well, you know, I'm going to just take care of this. I want to take care of that. I want to get rid of I'm trying to find an area where I just have that. I'm just going to select it manually, do that. That little sliver there. Now, where is that yellow? Is it? Okay, so let me make that. Just go to blue, it's supposed to be. So, okay, that's good. Let's go up here to our block dot colors. Yeah, let's make that. Okay, so now that's all's right in the world. So now these I think these need a little color for these flags and the stripes. So maybe select similar. Okay, turn that off. Turn these on. And what if they were like nice reddish orange or something? Here's a happy color. How's that? Oh, that's interesting. It's a pain. Every now and then it lets the bucket get all of it, but sometimes you gotta manually. If it's a new layer, then you can, you know, hit with the bucket once, it gets everything. But so where's the shading on this? Let me adjust the shading. I'm in this is the shadow, purple watercolor, but it's the shading. So I'm gonna Command U and maybe make the shading a little lighter, maybe a little redder. Keep it even lighter. The shading is fine. Of course, the brown stripes, you want to get that white, but for now, that's good. Now let me get the other colors in the tent. So I'm going to go to the blocked out colors, and I'm going to hit these spots. Boom, 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 boom. Ah, do I like that? I don't know. I think I got the wrong spot. Oh, that should be something's amiss there, but we'll ignore that for the moment. Look at that like that. Yeah. Okay. Now I have these all selected. And let me go. And you actually select things. Notice I'm in the layer, but the layer is not switched on. So it might be more. So what does this layer look like alone? Okay, so that's brown, and we don't like brown. So let's go back to multiply, where we're at, and Command U, and just make it lighter. Oh, look at what I did. I forgot something, so I'm going to go back up to blocked out color. Select, go down to flat color, Command U, and lighten it up. You know what? Cancel. Go back to the top. Get this. And this is this the opening of the tent? I think this is stripe too. So stripe, stripe. Now here, Command U, lighten up. Okay. Any color adjustment? Just like it might be enough. I think that's fine. It's pretty neutral. I hit OK. Let me just make that go normal. Yeah, I like the color. That's good for that. We need to adjust the shadow colors. So she has that purple watercolor. Actually, let me go back here, go back to multiply. And in flat colors, let me make that lighter. Command U. And lighten. And we don't subliminal little orangey shadow. Why is that not doing much? Because I'm in the flat color. I'm in the wrong area. You guys didn't tell me that, huh? So make that multiply. Now I go to purple watercolor. Command U. And oh, see, that's interesting. Kind of unifies the whole tent layer, right? And if I lighten it up a little bit too. I kind of like that. And now Command D, Command. Yeah, so now it feels a little more like they're silhouetted. Let me go back to this line here, this area. I have the screen at 37%. That's kind of fun. Where's that darkness coming from? Oh, yeah, awful dark right there. Where is this, on the flagpole? Ah, there it is. You do not want that. Let's do this. That was right here. So let's just go into the flat color area, select, and what do you want to do? Sometimes to grab the exact color, you have got to go into normal. And let's select this black too. And just go paint bucket, boom. boom, and boom. And let's go back to multiply, turn that back on. And let's pull out a little bit. Now let's go to the ground. Now, where is that color? I think maybe in the flat color layer. Oh yeah, see the shading there. We can't even see the shading. So let's adjust it. Command U. Lighten it first. Okay, good. I feel like we want purple there. That's cool. The one thing I do, I have this area selected. Let me add another layer. And one easy way to add texture is dissolve. So I'm going to fill it in and I'm going to go dissolve. Actually, you know what I'm going to do better yet? I'm going to keep it normal. I think it's generally better to keep the tools you're using normal. Let me add a color. Let me add a gradation. Let's go to the gradient tool. Let me get some kind of, what color do I want? Let's go, I mean, she's already got kind of purple there. You know what, I'm gonna do a light purple. It's gonna look the same. Okay, not much different, but what if wait, no, here's the idea. I was gonna try to do multiply and dissolve, but I can't do both. So I'm just gonna go with the darker color. And throw that in there, but that if I go dissolve, you know, kind of, it adds some speckly right there. And you know, there's some things like, what's the inside of the tent? I might want to play with that. I'm not crazy about the gray. So seems like that's on 2 layers. So let me go up here, select that, select that, select that. And again, that's the template layer. She calls it the block dot color. Let's go to flat colors, command U. Greenish, nah. You know, what would happen if it was what if that was someone was coming from inside those tents? What if I went like this? Just playing. I got some orange or gold, I should say. It looks gross, but that's because of the shadow. Go to the shadow color. I hit Command U and change the hue. Light green. Actually, that would be a little straight up. I think it's like a warm glow inside. You know what? Personally, I don't think I like that because if there was glow inside, the glow would be shooting out. So I don't like that whole experiment with yellow. But I do want to do something with it. If you just make this lighter so it's not quite so dark. Yes, it's like in this layer 2, Command U, lighten that. Yeah, I think I want to throw a color in there. Let me make that. What if we tie it in with this a little bit? I'm gonna go to my bucket. My thumb's not looking. I don't want to do that. I want to get my bucket. Yeah, that's what I want to do. And yeah, I think that's good for there because it kind of makes it neutral. I think we might want to get a soft eraser. You know what? That's too much. Back up. Yeah, I think more fine tuning now. It's funny. This purple up here. I'm going to go back to this this line. I'm not sure we want a purple outline up here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my eraser, erase 24%. Yeah, let's try that. And yeah, just at this point, and now I'm just kind of play. I mean, these shadows right here. Oh, where are these shadows? Yeah, if you had a cleaner selection, it would go a bit brighter there. Another thing you could do possibly is this is the figure line selection. If you go select, and I'm going to experiment with a new, like what if that yellow glow I put behind there, what if I got a little more of that yellow, got my grading tool, and I'm curious. I'm going to start here and go up. What's going to happen? What made the purple dirtier? Did it separate them? Oh, you know what? No. I mean, it does something. Do I like what it does? I don't know. So let's see, before, after, and play with that and lighten. I don't know. I don't know if I like it more or without, but I hope I just gave you an idea of how to go about playing with things. Another thing you might want to do is, go back to your block.color. What if you played with this? Oh, it's all the same blue. How about if can I isolate this light? I want to see if I can, maybe I can, yeah. So what I'm doing is I want the blue circle, the inner part of the clock. I think I got it. So again, if each thing is clearly colored in and separated, it just makes selecting areas real easy. Then you can play with them. So this is the flat color area. What if Command U, I made that darker and purple or something. Let's make some more purple. And then what if I went to what if I made a new layer and called stars? And that's going to be on normal. And what if I got a little brush tool, made it real tiny, and 48% is good. Yeah. Maybe I'll make it a little bigger. And I'll make it a little smaller, a little more intense. That color's still good. Yeah, that's okay. A little white, that's good there. And those little glow, boom, boom, boom. I do not know if she intends stars to be in here, but I just kind of had the idea. And what if we even, now that we're there, you could go more stars. What if I just select that hand again? What if I just made that green, or what would that look like? A little more saturation. So I think that's enough playing. So I just hopefully giving an idea just how to explore and manipulate. So I'll be showing this during class. So just to ask me if you have any questions. Well, good. I'll stop.